All right, guys. So the underground strength coach certification is shutting down tonight. No, tonight. It's Tuesday. Thrown for a loop with yesterday being MLK Day. And I wanted to talk about my first goal, financially with the underground strength gym was I wanted to, and I'm going to use my notebook here, is I wanted to make $10,000 a month. That's what I wanted to do. And at the time, training athletes out of my garage, and I'll do this with a marker. I'm going to actually move around a little bit, get some lights here. At the time, out of my garage, I had 3 memberships, and the prices were actually pretty high. And back then, we weren't dealing with the kind of economic uncertainty we have now. Just cost of living was different. And there was also really barely any competition. Very few people were doing strength and conditioning. And I also became a very strong voice in the wrestling community. So let me see if I could find a marker here. Here we go. And so wrestling was something I really catered to. But we had baseball players coming, football players. We had a lot of athletes from a variety of sports. So membership back then, if I recall correctly, was $375 if you were training 3 times a week, $275 twice a week, $195 once a week. And the groups were small, somewhere around like 3 or 4 athletes per group. Once in a blue moon, we had kids training groups of 5 or 6, but it was a garage. And then I transitioned to the warehouse space. So I did math because I was teaching at an elementary school, teaching health and phys ed. And so I did the math. How can I get to $10,000 a month? So I did it pretty simple. So goal equals 10K a month. All right. And then it's like strength training. You reverse engineer everything. So I said, man, I'm going to run the gym at 5, 6, and 7. Even though I got out of work at 3:45 p.m., we had a meeting like every Tuesday, faculty meeting. So 5, 6, 7 p.m., Monday through Thursday, Friday, 5 and 6. So we're looking at 3 hours Monday through Thursday. That's 12. Friday, 2 hours, 14. Saturday morning, 15. So we're working 15 hours a week. And I remember saying to myself, like, man, I know how to train athletes. I could get killer results. Trying to figure out the online business back then was a mystery to me. And so I knew that I could do this with the gym. I knew that I could build badasses. I could build savages. And I knew my schedule. Okay, 15 hours a week. I knew it was going to be rough because I'd be getting home late, right? I'd be shutting down the gym at 8, cleaning up, and then I'd be training myself, oftentimes till 9 p.m. It was tough, but I did it. And when I did the first math, I said, okay, 40 members, okay, at $250 a month equals 10K a month. All right, let's do this. I'm going to show you guys this so you can take a screenshot of this. All right, $250 a month, get it to 40 members. And at the time, I did something very unique. And I remember learning this from Jim Labady and Ryan Lee, which was to create a velvet rope to make it challenging for people to actually work with you. And I still do it to this day, not to that extent. There's a lot more competition, but I tell you what, if somebody reaches out to me and I follow up with them twice, I will not follow up a third time. If you are not hungry and urgent to become a member or to get your son or daughter to become a member, we're moving on without you. And I'm going to build ass kickers who unfortunately compete against your kid and beat your kid. That's the way it happens. And so I limited membership to 40 members. Once I had a handle on running the business, the organizational process of having the warehouse and not training people out of my house, That's when I bumped up membership to 50 and 60 people. And then you could do the math. And then we tended to hover around the 75 athlete mark, 75 members mark. So 75 members, usually we had kind of like this top 15%. We're taking the gold membership 3 or 4 times a week. Then we had the majority taking the middle membership of twice a week. And then we had a few on the once a week membership, which I quickly moved it into in season only. Like, you're not going to train once a week unless you're in season. And back then we had people traveling very, very far. You know, an hour away was not uncommon. 45 minutes away was not uncommon. Today, very uncommon for athletes, parents to be traveling that far away. That being said, you know, there's so many facilities. There's coaches out there doing great things. So you have to be great at delivering results, and you have to make it a great place for the kids. But you can build a gym, low hassle, high profit, $10,000 a month. You need 40 members on average at $250. And then you start bringing in $10,000 a month. I think that's really good for somebody if you're not even coaching 15 hours a week. As my kids got older and all the sports stuff took off, I started wanting to really have like 4-day weekends. Friday and Monday, I didn't want to, or Friday, Saturday, Monday, I couldn't really coach. And I opened multiple facilities where if we had an athlete who was showing that they wanted to be a coach, I would bring them in and they would intern. And it worked great because they grew up through the system. And so we opened up multiple satellite facilities. You know, we've always had these small facilities that are becoming actually very popular today. I started doing that, opened up my second facility. I'm here for 11 years. So 11 years ago, I had 2 facilities, 1.3 and even 4 when I was in the transition phase of moving my first location to the second spot. But having a system is crucial. That's what the Underground Strength Coach certification does. A system with warm-ups, a system to assess the athletes, a system of program design, and great training. And then, of course, you have to be a great person who loves to be around people. And the most successful gyms, you know, they go on to not just train athletes, they train adults during the day, or they become a primarily adult-based training facility, because the adults are a lot more specific. But this all started because I tore my ACL and I wanted to help athletes. So what's your why? What's your story? You know, for me, you know, my buddy Ryan Lee, my mentor, he said, I think God put you on this earth to make people strong. And that was when I was telling him, I can't figure out how to do this shit on the internet. All these nerds are wearing collared t-shirts and talking about training at home and 6-pack abs, when on my mind, I'm not. You know, back then, training at home was like dumbbells and body weight. I was like, no, we train with stones and sandbags and, you know, anything. There's video footage of me lifting like a radiator, like a radiator from the back of an auto body shop. We lift anything to get strong. And so I got to this point where I just became true to myself. And that's when the success really took off. So, Underground Strength Coach certification closing tonight, undergroundstrengthcert.com. And this is the certification that will pay you back for the rest of your life. Undergroundstrengthcert.com. Peace out, guys.